Alexa, stop. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? You all good? Yeah. All right, who is Curry Man? I don't know who that is to give you attendance points for. All right, you need to be in the screen, Curry Man, and you need to have your name on there, not Curry Man. All right, Nick, so join us, please, in the screen. There you go. And in the future, change your name so we know who you are when you check in, okay? Jed, nice white legs, man. All right, guys. So in a moment, I'm going to mute this and we're going to get started. Hopefully the rest of our class will join us in a little bit. I'm looking for Arthur, Ngozi, and who else are we looking for? An Avel. All right, any of you there? Nope, I don't think I see any of you on my screen. Oh, Avel? No. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, all right, so I'm going to mute you all. We're going to begin. First things first, we're going to start with some adjective practice. So I'm going to screen share. Okay, there we go. And we're going to look at a few of these. Who's coming in down here right now? Oh, Avel, good to have you with us, Avel. And Arthur, you're in here somewhere, Arthur, supposedly? There's Ngozi, all right. So last one is Caleb with the K. All right, let's see, there's Arthur, I see you, buddy. I need to put your name on yours as well, Arthur, and Philip. Your actual names need to be in there. All right, and Mr. Curryman, are you doing class with us or are you playing electronics? You have to unmute yourself so I can hear your answer.
I'm in class.
Okay, but you're not looking over here, so how are you in class? You look like you're looking at another screen, which is called gaming. Yeah, I wasn't born yesterday. All right, well, that will involve your participation points. When you do that, you'll lose points. Okay? Be in class, be in class. You get time in between to play games. All right, so let's look at our screen, and we're going to practice a few things from our adverbs that we've been looking at. Distinguishing adverbs and adjectives from each other. So hopefully you can tell me what's what. Okay. Actually, I want to. All right, so we're going to look at these adverbs and see if you can tell me what's what. So hopefully this is gonna work in my thing to play. I want to be able to hit enter so we can see things. So here's our first sentence. Many caterpillars live only a few weeks before building their cocoons to become butterflies. So I'm going to unmute Avel. And Avel, why don't you tell us what that is? Is few an adjective or an adverb?
Few.
Yep. What's that word? Adverb or an adjective? What do you think?
It's an adjective.
All right. Well, let's see if you're right. Oh, you're right. Ah, good job. Yep. Adjective. All right. Good job. Ashley, here's our next sentence. Oops, let me get over there. Sorry. Because they like to eat through things, caterpillars are generally considered pests. What do you think the word generally is? Adverb or adjective? Ashley Tarr, what do you think?
Adverb.
And you would be correct. Good job. Good job. All right, so let's go with Brianna Hess next. Here's your sentence. Butterflies delicately drink nectar from a flower instead of munching on its leaves. What do you think it is? Adjective or adverb? Right, adjective. Good job, Brianna. Nicely done. Let's do Kathleen. You have to unmute yourself, please, Kathleen. Where'd you go? All right, Kathleen, here's your sentence. The Goliath bird-winged butterfly can have a wingspan of 11 inches. What is the word 11? Yeah, adjective. Good job. Good job. And last sentence, let's give it to, who's this Home Depot? I think it's Philip today, right? All right, the peacock butterfly makes a hissing sound by rubbing its wings quickly together. What is quickly, adjective or adverb? Adjective. Ooh. Adverb ends in ly. Remember our rule? All right. Adverbs end in ly, and it's describing how it's rubbing. Right. All right. Next time, maybe next time you'll get that one right. All right. You were trying to find you to mute you back. Home Depot. All right. All right. So, guys, that was just a little bit of adjective and adverb review for today. We've been kind of conquering those. We're going to move into next week, moving on a little bit into some other thoughts besides just adjectives and adverbs. So I hope that you were able to follow along with us in that area. You have to go. All right, hopefully that'll help that question for that person who's asking that question there. All right, lastly, today, so we're really going to have kind of a little bit of a short class today. We're going to move into Washington Carver. So I'm going to show you a video about Washington Carver. Many of you have been studying him since you were like, I don't know, I feel like his name pops up in like first grade. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but I really feel like his name kind of comes up to us in first grade. So many of you are familiar with him already. We've seen him lots of times. Is this Naruto's shadow clone? Is that Caleb with a K? Is that Caleb with a K entering the class or no?
Hi, Arthur.
Okay.
Can I leave and come back for my newspaper?
Well, you can do that in the next class. Do the next class, all right?
Can't you change your I don't know.
Well,
How do you change your name?
you have to go to this.
Just go to the No, but Mrs. Love.
Right, you need to go to the settings button and change your name inside your profile.
Oh,
but
press on yours and it says rename. Yeah, press on yours and it says.
All right, anyways, so that can be done on, you've got some time in between this class and the next to do that. Just next time we need to come in as your name so I can do your attendance quickly, give you your points for being involved in the class today. So just come in on your name. But anyways, we'll fix that later. Okay, so for now, we're going to go to A Boy Who Was Traded for a Horse. So open up your literature books, page 297. Page 297, Abren los libros. Those of you who are going to Spanish next year, the 8th graders, you're going to hear that phrase all the time. Abren los libros. Open those books. Or abren sus libros. Open your books. And you're going to see that all the time next year. So a little bit of introduction to your Spanish. Anyways, page 297. Página 907. All right, so anyways, there's where you're going to go. A boy who was traded for a horse. Washington Carver. So before we read that story today, we're going to watch a small, quickie video about that and see what we can learn about our friend Washington Carver. Let me see if I can get you guys a little screen out of the way. All right, let me share that a different way. It's not like in that YouTube page. So let me just go directly to the YouTube and share it from there instead. All right, here we go.
Born into slavery in Missouri, George Washington Carver was orphaned as an infant and raised by Moses and Susan Carver, the family who had owned his mother. As a frail child, he was not required to help with heavy farm chores and spent his days exploring nature and the plants in the Carver house. Soon, he became known as the plant doctor. George left the Carver home to pursue an education on his own. After 2 years, he earned a certificate of merit. He would have to move again in order to continue learning. He moved 75 miles away to Fort Scott, Kansas. He worked at menial jobs while trying to save enough money for school. But his life was a lonely one, filled with poverty, cruelty, and prejudice. When he witnessed a black man being lynched, he fled. He had been accepted to Highland College in Kansas, but on arrival, he was turned away because of his race. In 1886, he settled on a farm in Hess County, Kansas. While there, he performed agricultural experiments that would later be valuable to him. George was able to save enough money for a semester at Simpson College in Iowa to study art. Out of 300 attending, he was the only black student, and he was welcomed. He was described as having a burning zeal to know everything. His art teacher was so impressed with his ability with plants and encouraged him to major in horticulture. He transferred to Iowa State Agricultural College and graduated in 1894. In 1896, having received a master's, George was offered a position by respected educator Booker T. Washington of the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. At Tuskegee, George decided on his purpose in life. He was going to help a former slave population become self-sufficient through farming.
Carver had been trained in Iowa in the natural sciences, in botany, and as a scientist and investigator, Carver was a deeply practical man. He wanted to turn science into products that would benefit the black rural poor.
He developed the Jessup wagon, a movable laboratory on wheels to help educate farmers. He encouraged them to rotate their crops to conserve the nutrients in the soil and to give up soil depleting cotton crops. He persuaded the farmers to plant peanuts instead. In his Tuskegee lab, he developed over 300 uses for the peanut and 100 uses for the sweet potato, anything from beverages to medicines to paints. Carver collaborated with Henry Ford in developing alternative fuels with soybeans. He also perfected a process for extracting rubber from the milk of the goldenrod plant.
Carver produced a series of scientific inventions that were primarily designed to enhance the economic and agricultural productivity of the Black Belt. They benefited black and white farmers alike.
This prolific scientist was also a painter, a crocheter, and a musician, even raising money for the Tuskegee Institute by touring as a pianist. He had once turned down the opportunity to work with Thomas Edison because he believed he would do more good at Tuskegee.
After World War I, by the 1920s, Carver had become something of a legend, a folk hero to the Black South.
George Washington Carver died on January 5th, 1943. He was buried at Tuskegee next to his friend Booker T. Washington. His tombstone reads, "He could have added fortune to fame, but caring for neither. He found happiness and honor in being helpful to the world."
George Washington Carver's greatest accomplishment was in being a role model
All right, so that's a little bit about the gentleman whom you're going to read about today. So page 297, A Boy Who Was Traded for a Horse, to page 300, be your guys' literature homework tonight. Right now, let's turn over to page 301. 301, let's read the poem The Thinker by Burton Braley together. We're finishing up our Unit 7. We're about to move into Unit 8, which is all about sports. So those of you who like sports, you might find Unit 8's literature a little more exciting. But for now, let's finish a little bit about our scientists, our great men and women of the scientific age. So the thinker, Burton Braley, there's always a mind behind the inventions and the work. And so here's a poem concerning that. Back of the beating hammer by which the steel is wrought, back of the workshop's clamor, the seeker may find the thought that is ever master of iron and steam and steel, that rises above disaster and tramples it under heel. The drudge may fret and tinker, or labor with dusty blows, but back of him stands the thinker, the clear-eyed man who knows. For into each plow or saber, each piece and part and whole, must go the brains of labor, which gives the work a soul. Back of the motors humming, back of the belts that sing, back of the hammers drumming, back of the cranes that swing, there is the eye which scans them, watching through stress and strain. There is the mind which plans them, back of the brawn, the brain. Might of the roaring boiler, force the engine's thrust. Strength of the sweating toiler, greatly in these we trust. But back of them stands the schemer, the thinker who drives things through. Back of the job, the dreamer, who's making the dreams come true. All right, and one last one. And the night shall be filled with music on page 302. And the night shall be filled with music by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Do you realize that poetry has its own music? You probably realize that. A lot of poetry has a rhyme and a rhythm to it. So you can feel that rhythm, you feel the music in that. And of course, we know that a lot of songs that are written were once poems turned to song. And here's one of them. Then read from the treasured volume the poem of thy choice, and lend to the rhyme of the poet the beauty of thy voice. And the night shall be filled with music, and the cares that infest the day shall fold their tents like the Arabs, and as silently steal away. All right, those of you who are chatting away, I just my little thing. All right, anyway, so page 297, A Boy Who Was Traded for a Horse. It's going to be your homework tonight. So those of you who were working on your research paper, I hope you remember. I haven't checked it to see if everybody's turned their stuff in, but the research paper was due today, the edited version of it. So you're supposed to type it in and give me your edited version. I'm going to read through them, give you some comments back on some things that might need to be changed. So you need to read through it again. I'm going to see if I might be able to, if you all did them in Word documents, I might be able to pull them down and highlight some things for you and then send you back the file. That way you can see the file itself and know exactly where some things need to be changed or what I was thinking. Otherwise, if I can't do that on your file, in the comment section will be everything that I think about your paper. So when you do get it back, you have to give me a couple days. I have a lot of them to read through. Your guys' class at 9th and 10th this weekend, so it's going to take a little while. But when you do get them back, your job is to open up the research paper, go through it, make the changes. The final of that is going to be due, actually, I don't remember. Actually, now that I think about it, I just remembered. I'm sorry. We changed your guys' date to next Thursday because some of you don't have your paper yet. Yeah, sorry, Phil. I forgot about that. Some of you don't have your paper yet, so you actually still have some more time. Sorry. You have till next Thursday because Friday is no school, so I won't see any of you on Friday. We have Good Friday that day, and then Monday's our Easter Monday off, so we'll see you again that Tuesday. So next Thursday, Thursday's your edited version. So if your paper is here on property, please be sure you come to school tomorrow. The doors will be open. Well, actually, nobody's coming in the building. The property will be open, so outside will be your stuff from 10 to 1 o'clock. You can come and pick up everything that was in your locker, as well as all of your books, anything else that you left here on property, in case we can't come back this school year. We have to finish it this way. We'll have to see. So I'm really hoping, this is just going to be the month of April, and we'll all come back and see each other again in May. But we're not for certain, so for now, we just want you to have everything you might possibly need to at least finish through April and maybe through May, worst case scenario. All right, so that's actually all that we're really going to do today. I think we're going to take a few minutes on page 297. And you know what, I think you all read at different paces, so maybe I'll let you do this as your own work together on your own instead of reading out loud and here in class. We read out loud in class the other day. So right now I'm going to just kind of sign off a little early today and let you guys do this literature reading on your own. Now, next week, we're going to have grammar quizzes and literature quizzes again. So please be sure that you're paying attention, taking notes, highlighting when I tell you to highlight, mostly it's highlighting, and paying attention so you know things for literature tests and quizzes and stuff. We'll start spelling up again in 2 weeks. We're going to take a little bit of time off from spelling. We'll work it back into our schedule. All right, so I'm going to unmute all of you and let you all have a chance to ask a question. Anybody have a question they would like to ask right now? Any questions? No, all this makes sense. You're good? Okay. All right, then I'm going to close the class early. Again, I'm closing it for the purpose of you reading your literature. All right, if nobody has any questions, then I'm going to close the class completely. If anybody has a question, just put a question hand or raised hand on your board, and I'll leave the class open, and then the rest of you can sign out, and then I can answer your questions if you have more. For anybody like that? No? All right. Well, then let's go ahead and end this meeting today. I'll see you guys on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy some sunshine. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.